Hello from Adelaide, South Australia. I completed my PhD in 2019. My research investigated the lived experiences of people with complex communication needs, CCN, in developing romantic and sexual relationships. One of the key findings of my research was the predominance of ableism in the experiences of the participants. Today I am going to examine what does ableism have to do with AAC, romance and sex. 9 adults were interviewed. 6 were Australians and the others were from Canada, the United Kingdom and the United States. The experiences discussed by the participants were diverse, however there were common factors. Due to time restraints today, I will focus on experiences shared by 3 of the participants who had cerebral palsy. I will briefly introduce each of these participants and the experiences they shared, and then explore these experiences in more detail. Pseudonyms have been used to protect the identity of the participants. Jasmine was a young woman who was at a concert when an able-bodied male started to dance with her. She believed this was normal behavior in her group of friends. They were getting on very well, until others interjected and guided him away from her. Katie was a young woman who lived in supported accommodation. Her fiancé also had CCN. They could only have physical contact occasionally on weekends, if support staff helped them get on the floor together. Oscar was a young man who used LGBTIQ dating websites to connect with potential sexual partners. One of the major barriers participants faced in developing relationships was the presence of ableism, which was evident in the attitudes of others. While none of the participants used the term ableism, the data indicated evidence of ableism in many of their experiences. Jasmine expressed frustration at having her rights constantly undermined, even by people who knew her well, by saying, "I just hate my right to choose," being taken from me again and again. She spoke of other people making decisions on her behalf without consultation. When the man was dancing with her at a concert, her friends and venue security quickly escorted him away, and she never saw him again. This made her feel that she had done something wrong. She felt her friends prevented an opportunity for her to flirt and enjoy the attention of a potential partner. Katie discussed the need for assistance from support workers for her and her fiancé to spend intimate time together on the floor. However, this assistance was rarely provided. Katie expressed, staff made it difficult, because of their attitude and values. The staff wouldn't agree to let us spend physical time together outside of the chairs. The use of online dating sites enabled participants to subvert the ableist attitudes of others. Jasmine said the online environment allowed her to be in control in developing relationships, saying, "I got to know him without anyone else getting involved. Nobody has managed to take him away from me yet." Dating websites also empowered some participants to choose when and how they disclosed information about their disability. For example, Oscar indicated he used to not disclose his disability to potential partners until meeting face-to-face. He said, "Like when I would go and meet people online, I would turn up to his house, because I wanted to see what reactions I would get out of him, like I would turn up. I would improvise." However, Oscar explained that he more recently decided it was helpful to tell potential partners about his disability before meeting them, saying, "So, if someone wanted to meet me today, like I would tell him I have cerebral palsy and I would ask him if he knows what it is, because I don't want to waste my time, but most people are really good about it. There's always an odd one who is a little bit uncomfortable." In online contexts, Jasmine found it easier to allow a potential partner to get to know her before having to worry about any additional disability-related factors. However, when meeting new people face-to-face, she said, "I have to be introduced." Being introduced by friends was identified as a facilitator. This exploratory research drew on the perspectives of 9 adults with CCN on developing romantic and sexual relationships, and contributes unique knowledge to the AAC field and the broader disability and sexuality field. As Sheldrick argues, it is not enough to focus on identifying attitudinal barriers, we need to provide understanding of the causes behind them. Providing this deeper understanding can stimulate conversation and engagement for social change. So what does ableism have to do with CP, AAC, romance and sex? The prevalence of ableism within the lived experiences of people with disabilities is often not recognized or acknowledged. In examining the interviews, ableist attitudes from others were seen to be rife throughout many of the experiences shared, including Katie's support worker's attitudes often preventing her from spending intimate time with her lover. Jasmine's dance partner being escorted away from her without her consent. And Oscar feeling the need to change his strategy around revealing his disability to potential partners. The participants reported several methods they used to subvert ableism. For example, the concept of Jasmine being introduced by her friends. While superficially this might seem obvious, it was quite profound. Jasmine seemed to suggest she needed more than a basic exchange of names, she needed her friends to take a more deliberate approach to introducing her. With her permission, her friends could provide detail regarding her methods of communication, and some pertinent information which may provide additional scaffolding to develop a friendship with a new acquaintance. This is a simple, but powerful example of a facilitator for people with CCN to expand their social networks. Another method the participants employed to subvert ableism was the use of dating websites when meeting new people, and attempting to form relationships with potential romantic and sexual partners. The online environment permits a degree of anonymity, and empowers people to disclose information about their disability, when they choose to. Several participants discussed how these sites allowed people to get to know them, before delving into the complexities of disability-related issues. One of the products of ableism conceptualized from the analysis of the findings was a phenomenon I call the invisible line. This occurs when a person with a disability, who believes they are behaving within the cultural norms of a social group, unwittingly crosses a notional line and invokes an extreme and unexpectedly negative and judgmental response. All the people involved seem oblivious to the existence of the invisible line, until it is crossed, and when that happens, the extreme response is often misunderstood. The invisible line gives insight into the pervasive, yet often subtle ableism in the lives of people with disabilities. For example, in Jasmine's experience at the concert, Jasmine believed she was behaving within the social norms of her group, until the dynamics changed abruptly, and she experienced sudden disapproval from her peers. While her friends probably felt they were being helpful, their ableist actions unconsciously demeaned her, treating her as incapable of making mature decisions. This exploratory research encourages an important conversation in the AAC and CP fields. While the research only scratched the surface, it sheds light on the lived experiences of people with CCN, in developing romantic and sexual relationships.